My name is Aleks Merkovich. I'm the Senior SEO Manager at Sonos, the premium home audio and home theater brand. We've had Conductor as a partner for over 2 years now. When I started here at Sonos, we didn't really have a fully fledged SEO program. We didn't really have full-fledged SEO reporting or really understanding of our visibility or anything like that. So I really needed a platform that allowed me to get really in-depth in the reporting. The thing that kind of set Conductor apart from other platforms is the international aspect and the international reporting ability. Sonos is a global company. We're predominantly based in the US, but we do have, a lot of revenue and business in EMEA and APAC, Latin America we're expanding into as well. So really having the ability to track keywords as well as AI SERPs globally was really at scale, is really one of the biggest differentiators, in my opinion, of Conductor versus other tools, right? The fact that you're able to do it at such a large scale, and again, globally across different search engines and AI engines is really a very big differentiator. And then, when it kind of came time to renew our contract, the fact that, Conductor had been a really great partner and had allowed us access to the AI search beta and alphas and things like that, really kind of showed us what was available on the market and kind of really helped us plan what we needed before we actually went ahead and had to start evaluating vendors and whatnot. And so because of the good partnership, the previous scale of international tracking that we had in place, and kind of the ever-growing capabilities, especially within AI search, really kind of helped solidify us wanting to maintain the partnership with Conductor. Having, one tool, one vendor, one partner makes a lot more sense than having 15 of them. So having all the various tools and features within Conductor has been super helpful. I think for me particularly, the two things that I spend the most time on Conductor on is the reporting aspects, both in performance for traditional search and for AI search, but also the Conductor monitoring tool, which I think is a huge technical help, right? The fact that it's a 24/7 monitoring crawl of the website is invaluable, right? I'm able to look at the website at any point in time to see what is the technical health of that page, what's the metadata, what is the, whether it's being indexed or not. And we have a very large website, like I said, both from direct to consumer, but also to support and communities across multiple languages. So having that all access in one place and not having to rerun a crawl all the time has been very valuable to us. Conductor Intelligence is super helpful, when it comes to our overall content and search strategy. In the early days of kind of building a content strategy for Conductor, the research functionality was particularly important to help identify various topics and things that we wanted to cover, within our editorial section of the website. You're looking at things like search volume, finding related keywords and whatnot. That having it connected to keywords that we track in the reporting is also very helpful, right? Like I said, we started kind of creating a whole content strategy when I joined here, and naturally we needed a way to measure that. And so, we started tracking all the various keywords and the various prompts and things like we needed in Conductor, and we were able to measure the success of our content program through Conductor as well. In more recent months, or in the last year, I guess, the AI search has also been super imperative to our general strategy. But we look at various things such as our website citation rate, our brand, mention rate amongst our category, and then what other websites are also being mentioned, what other websites are being cited specifically within our category. And then we've had a lot of really useful insights that drive our strategy there. So for instance, we find, within, certain speaker categories, certain publishers, right? They are cited the most, right? So as a result, we know, okay, these are the types of publishers where we need to have positive reviews. We need to have positive sentiment. Perhaps we need to have an affiliate relationship with them. And then similarly with Reddit, seeing, there was a point in time where we were seeing that Reddit was being cited way more than just the Sonos website across the board, which for us, not a really great thing. But for our Reddit team, really good information because they can see specifically which threads are being cited and what the sentiment is in there. And so they're able to go ahead and respond accordingly. So for me personally, on the SEO side, the research and the intelligence and reporting features have been really good to kind of help create an existing strategy, help report on it, and kind of help understand what is performing and where we want to go next. Log file analysis for Conductor monitoring has been a really big win and unlock for us. I think it kind of gave us a lot of insights that we weren't expecting. So for example, once we plugged in, log file analysis into Conductor monitoring, we were able to see which pages all the various AI bots and search bots were really going to, right? And actually what we discovered through that process was that there was a whole section of the website that I had not really been paying attention to, right? These were kind of ancillary pages that kind of just exist for the sake of existing, that aren't really consumer facing, just kind of exist, in case someone falls down a rabbit hole and ends up there. But turns out ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, they all fell down that rabbit hole and they kept coming back to that same content that we had been ignoring for I don't even know how long. So the fact that we were able to have that log file analysis really helped bring to light a whole section of the website that hadn't been touched in a while. Now we're able to go ahead and revamp it from an SEO perspective and have it benefit both our SEO program and our AEO program, but also benefit our customers as well, right? Like I said, it was a portion of the website that kind of had fallen off, and now that we're seeing that there's a lot more engagement and a lot more content from that part of the website being cited, it's kind of reinvigorating our team to go ahead and do a larger audit of all that type of stuff we have on the website. Our three major things that we look for within Conductor are our keyword visibility, our market share, and then also our AI search performance. And so amongst all three of those aspects, we've seen improvements, since partnering with Conductor. Part of that has to do with, the fact that we have developed an SEO and AEO program over that time. But the other part of it is that we're using Conductor to measure and inform that as well, right? So for example, I'm able to tell you that we've seen non-branded keyword visibility increase in all regions that we track, right? And that's several regions, right? We started going ahead and implementing a content strategy that was US-based first, and then going ahead and translating it and localizing it so that it's good globally. And we've seen that strategy typically works for now. We've seen that our rankings for non-branded keywords have improved both in the US, but also in other foreign language countries like France, Germany, and Netherlands, as well as other English-speaking regions as well. So that's really great to see. And then subsequently, we've also seen the market share in those regions improve as well. And again, having that breakdown by country is super useful, right? We generally report on like a North America, EMEA, APAC type level. So having, different market shares for different countries is really useful. And then finally, yes, like I said, we see market share increase for non-branded keywords. We've seen keyword visibility increase for page one keywords across the board. In terms of AI search, we've seen that Sonos is number one, right? We've seen it within our own metrics that Sonos is one of the most mentioned brands in our category, which is great to see. Conductor recently came out with your AI, AEO, GEO benchmarks, and Sonos was also listed there as well. And so I think a large testament to that is the fact that, we were on the ground being able to look at the data, having access to those alphas and betas and having access to all the tools in Conductor to kind of help guide our strategy and ultimately lead us to being one of the most visible brands within our category.